Welcome with us, Dr.
Thank you.
Minalini. So, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Love to have mind reading capacity.
If your life was turned into a movie, what would it be? The title of the movie.
Embers of Destiny. I was singing.
You were singing.
when I was in 8th standard, and my teacher caught my hand and she told,
She's the girl.
She's the girl who's singing so bad voice she's having. And she threw me out of the song. After that, I never tried singing.
And favorite subject in school?
I'm biology teacher. I love biology. They know that they have to utilize their freedom positively, and they know how to take decisions, proper decisions. That even if my friend is telling that let's not go to the class, still I know I have to do this, and I attend the class. So you are taking right decision. Decision making skill is one of the greatest skill which every individual should have.
Welcome to the Voice of Leadership. Again, this episode is going to be packed with a lot of wisdom, laughter, and unexpected surprises. Today, we have a trailblazer in education, a visionary leader who has a firm belief to change the education system with innovation, a lot of research, and deep commitment to AI in learning. So, she is Dr. Mrinalini. Please welcome with us Dr.
Thank you.
Mrinalini
Thank you.
to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, and she's an award winning principal also. And beyond these accolades, who is Dr. Miranari? I mean, what drives her passion and how does she see the future of education evolving? So, I mean, there is so much in this episode. So, you are definitely going to get a lot of surprises and unexpected events also, which is filled with wisdom, laughter, and so much fun. So, I am very excited. So, without wasting time, let's get started. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Amita, for inviting me to this podcast. And I'm looking forward for it.
Yes, ma'am. So, our pleasure also. And ma'am, my first question for you is I'm going to start with a funny one because I know that principals are known to be serious people full of discipline, leadership. But I would like to know if you have to describe yourself in three emojis, what would be those emojis?
Okay, Amita, have you seen one emoji on WhatsApp and various mobile apps?
Yes, ma'am.
It's having a glass
Okay.
in one eye.
Okay.
So that is one of the emoji which describes me. That is analytical investigator. So
Okay.
I'm always analyzing and I'm analytical investigating every situation and every person in the school. Another emoji is you must have seen like this. One emoji like this.
Wow.
So this emoji is calm in any stressful situation.
Okay.
Because I know very well in school there are so many situations which brings out lot of stress on leader. So keep yourself calm. So I always like if anybody comes to me with any kind of issues or stressful situation, I just calm,
Calm.
and calm like this. And the third one is the love. Definitely, it describes me and my leadership because I love my team.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. I mean, we have seen it on WhatsApp, but practically we have seen today. Okay. So, ma'am, you have received numerous awards for your leadership and contributions to education. So, what drives your passion in this field?
So there are multiple factors which drives a vision beyond self, selfless work for education, for students, for parents, and committed to excellence. Every day I am competing with myself. Whatever I did the previous day, I always look forward for working better and in comparison to the previous day, and driven by legacy and resilient for any kind of challenging situation, emotionally invested. I have actually invested myself emotionally in my work and fueled by my ambition to shape the future of nation.
Okay.
So these all things, you can say helped me, or these are the driven force
Hmm.
because of which I've been working continuously since last 25 years in the field of education.
So, if we talk about AI, so AI in education, it's a very hot topic. It's very gassed up today.
Hmm.
So, what's your take on this? I mean, what excites you about this topic?
Okay, before I answer this question, Amita, 3, 4 days back, it was in news that an event was organized at China, and they used robot to control the crowd. And robots were given instruction by the event organizer that there's a particular line, and nobody was supposed to cross the
Hmm.
line in order to maintain the discipline and safety security of the event organizers. And people, as you know, it's crowded, so people are like they started crossing the line. And because maybe the language was not written properly and instructions were not given to robot properly, it started hitting people. So it was like when I read the newspaper, then I started laughing, thinking that AI can do this also
Yeah.
if it is not been given instructions properly and monitored properly. So I recalled Robot Chitti movie, if you remember.
Yeah, yeah, Aishwarya Rai and
Aishwarya Rai
Rajnikant.
and Rajnikant. So I was like, if we are not in sync with AI, then definitely it will harm the people. So when we talk about AI in education, I would say that yes, it has helped students because it gives a personalized education. It acts like a personal tutor because every student has their own pace of learning. When they go back to home, and if they are having a proper stepwise visual explanation of any concept, it becomes easier for them to understand the concept. And if they are visual learner, so definitely it goes inside their mind, and then they are able to relate or even apply the concept what they have understood via AI.
Hmm.
So, apart from understanding, AI also helps in assessment. So, individual assessments as per the child's need.
Hmm.
And then very soon it can give the results of assessment. Like if a questionnaire is given to a teacher, after a child writes down all the answers, at least few hours teacher will take to read all answers and correct it and give the marks.
Hmm.
But then AI gives the result instantly.
Yes.
So definitely AI is very much important and it is helping. It's a
Yeah.
support system.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand, teacher and AI.
Hmm.
It goes hand in hand. So if a teacher is well equipped and teacher knows how to use artificial intelligence and what are the various apps present and where child needs support. So humanization is required.
Definitely.
So teacher has to develop a connect with the child, and then after that identify what is his needs, identify what is the learning style of the child.
Hmm.
Accordingly, the assignments and accordingly the visuals or accordingly the questionnaire, accordingly the notes can be given to the child so that he can go home and study and understand the concept.
So, if in continuation of this
Hmm.
question, if I ask you, do you think that AI will be able to replace teachers? What's your take on this?
See, AI helps in personalized learning.
Hmm.
AI helps in extended learning.
Yeah.
But then initial learning, who will help? Teacher.
Sure.
So AI cannot initiate learning. AI cannot build up the concept. AI can support the education system that is going on inside the classroom,
Hmm.
but it can never replace a teacher.
To all the teachers,
Otherwise,
here.
otherwise same thing would happen what
Yeah.
happened in China.
So, to all the teachers here, so definitely your role is going to be as precious as it was. So, I mean, we all have a genuine respect for all the teachers because you have been the guidance for all the students, all the generations who have already come and who are yet to come. So, you will always be precious gem for the education society. Okay, so my next question for you is, what's one book that changed your perspective on education, or if I talk about leadership?
It's Wings on Fire,
Okay.
written by APJ Abdul Kalam.
Okay.
So I read this book when I was in college.
Hmm.
I didn't understand much what is written and how a dream can help a person achieve whatever he or she wants. The force, the driving force. But then as years passed on, I'm able to understand it. And I keep reading it every year,
Okay.
again and again. So he has described how it is important for every person to have a dream
Hmm.
and then try to work on to achieve that dream.
Okay.
A person without ambition and dream is actually not a living organism. There has to be a driving force every day in the morning for which you are getting up.
Yes.
So I really enjoy reading that book.
I mean, I just with one statement of yours, I'm feeling very inspired and motivated that yes, you just don't need to have the dreams, you need to have that zeal, that enthu, that passion, that driveness in you, like, so that, it pushes you to do that thing.
Yes,
So that's very
definitely.
much required.
Definitely.
Okay. What's one rule in the school that you wish, that you secretly wish did not exist?
See, actually, if you ask me what is that rule should not be existing, so even if NEP is focusing on, you can say, the holistic development and bringing about happiness in the classroom, having fun during teaching learning process, even though so many things NEP has talked about, but still many schools follow the old rote learning methodologies.
Hmm.
And when in pre-primary classes children come, even the parents also feel
Hmm.
that why aren't you teaching my child ABCD?
Oh.
Why are you doing so many other things? Only activities. Why my child is not getting books every day? You're not giving him writing work. So this rule, which has been existing since years, the rote learning part, even though principals and schools want to move ahead as per NEP, but there are parents who are holding them back. So, this rule I really want to get rid of, and parents also should understand that education cannot remain same for ages and ages, because time is dynamic, it is changing. What you had at your time, same kind of education system cannot be there for your children, because the entire society has changed.
Yes, ma'am. So we cannot follow that moldy and rotten system of
Yes,
education. It has to be changed.
it has to be
And I
changed.
think parents, I think you also need to, change your thought process and about the new learning process also. Because if schools, teachers, they are coming up with new methods of teaching. So I think they are doing it for the best of their children. So I think you should also have that, mentality that, with open heartedness, you need to, adopt that also. So that's really important. Okay. If you had to give a TED talk, something which is not related to education, which topic are you going to choose?
Now, if I have to give TED talk, I would choose happy go lucky.
Okay.
Happy go lucky parenting.
Okay.
Because I feel that every child is born with his or her own abilities, inborn abilities, I should say.
Wow.
And if you leave a child in an environment where he is free to explore and grow,
Hmm.
definitely he will be he'll become a very you can say a balanced person. You know what parents are doing nowadays? Even if child falls, they run and they just grasp their child on their lap. They don't. They actually, I have seen few of the parents who are doing parenting so nicely that when a child falls, they start clapping and they start laughing. The child doesn't know that why they are laughing, why they are clapping. So actually the child forgets the
That
pain.
he has hurt
He has
himself.
hurt himself, and then he also starts laughing.
Okay.
So, a positive parenting where we are not over pampering, and we are not over overly taking care of our child. I have seen parents when they are going on outing, they carry so many things along with them for a child. This is my child's toy. This is my child's pillow. This is my child's bag. So, why can't you take a child without anything and let him explore what is available locally, wherever you are going for a tour?
Right.
You're going for enjoyment. Why making it stressful?
Yeah.
That you
I
have
think
to,
that's not an enjoyment, that's a stress.
for you also as
Yeah.
a mother,
You have to carry a lot. So what the hell are you enjoying?
enjoying it. Every 1 hour you are seeing what is the time and what food I
Yeah.
have to give to my child.
Yeah.
You're going for enjoyment. You also enjoy. Let child also enjoy.
Yeah. So I think this is very, it's a very unique thing to understand. And apart from education, I think this is somewhere interrelated with education. And I think parents, the young parents of this generation, you need to understand this because it's a very nice statement, told by Dr. Minalini. And I think you should go out and just be as relaxed and cool. Let your child explore the things the way they are. Okay. So, what do you think of book writing at a young age? And do you know, like, what kind of platforms can you suggest
Hmm.
that can help a child to write a book?
See, writing a book at very young age, maybe age of 6 years, 7 years, language is still developing. When I talk about English,
Yes.
so it is still developing in a child. So a platform where more of pictures are available to express the storyline.
Hmm.
It would be easier for that young age to write a story using pictures and an AI tool which can actually convert these images into a simple stories. So I have gone through Bookalooza
Okay.
and I explored it, and I'm very much impressed because even the young age children, as I told you, that language is still developing, foundational literacy is still developing in these children. So they find it difficult to frame difficult, complicated sentences.
Hmm.
So if a platform is available like Bookalooza, which is a global platform for writing book, where children can select pictures, write simple sentences, and automatically it converts the entire story into a book with images, attractive images. And then a child can publish it, because if somebody is writing a book, definitely the person expects that it should be read.
Yeah.
It should
Exactly.
have readers.
Yeah, it should.
So Bookalooza is a platform which not only publishes the book, but also it goes to the readers.
So, to all the viewers, do encourage your children to write book on Bookalooza. You can check out the website www.bookalooza.com and let your child inspire his creativity, come up with new thoughts, ideas, and he may have a story. But if you need a platform for your child to get his book published, I think Bookalooza is the right platform. So check out this website, and the link is also given in the comments box below, and you can definitely encourage your child to write a book and become a young author at a young age. Okay, ma'am. So, English, I believe that it's a foundation of communication. So, what do you think, like, makes Hello English and My Green Book of English stand out from, other English books?
See, these two books I have gone through, and when I read it, when I was flipping through the pages, I found that more focus is on practical learning of language is there,
Okay.
and picture representation is very good. The assignments are very creative
Okay.
and very engaging. So a child looks forward every day in the evening to complete the assignments, whatever he has learned. So interactive, it's a kind of, although it is a book, but it's a kind of interactive language lab
Right.
in book format.
Right.
So it's a very good book. I have gone through both the books.
Okay. That's great. And in your experience, how important is the presentation of content in textbooks? And do you think books like Genius Maths and Genius Science make learning more visual and student friendly?
See, without books, definitely it is not possible for children to learn. And books which has clear illustrations, especially when I talk about mathematics books, if it has clear illustrations of graphs, pie chart, and even mathematical concepts, it becomes easier for child to relate it with their day to day life. These books incorporates clear illustrations, diagrams, and it connects with the real life situation of the child, so that when he's been explained a particular concept in mathematics or science, the pictures in the book is related to the real life. He's able to connect both, and the concept building is always strong if a new mathematical concept or scientific concept is explained using anything that child knows. It is like in education, or as per Bloom's taxonomy, we say it moving from known to unknown.
Hmm.
So what he knows, connecting that knowledge with the unknown, a new concept using diagrams, picture illustrations, analysis, hot questions. So everything is there in these two books.
So, how do you encourage your students to become lifelong learners?
See, lifelong learners, if I want my children to foster this capacity or this, you can say, the virtue in their life, I would always go ahead with going beyond the textbooks,
Okay.
so that they are observing every problem with critical thinking and thinking out of the box. And they don't think that their life is in the textbook and they have to just pass the exams. Life is not about giving exams and passing the exams and then getting the degree. Life is beyond that. When you complete all your exams,
So, okay, moving on to something funny. So, if you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
I would love to have mind reading capacity.
Okay.
So that I can read your mind
My God.
and find out what are your thoughts about me currently.
Okay.
Whether I am like you are happy to see me, or you are not, you feel that okay, fine, let me just complete this podcast, I want to get rid of her. This jokes apart, I would love to have mind reading because I want to understand the hidden talent of my students
Okay.
or my teachers, and then boost their morale
Okay.
to go ahead, because sometimes children feel shy,
Yes.
they don't share what they are feeling due to various reasons. So if I have this talent, then it would be easier for me to understand the hidden talents, the hidden emotions, the unspoken words.
So इतने minds अगर आप रोज daily read करोगे, so I think I'll go crazy. I don't know about you.
Definitely at the end of the day, we'll go crazy. But then it's okay.
Because in a school, I think you have more than 50, 100 students. You have
Yes,
1,000.
1,000, more than
And then
1,000.
there are teachers also. Then there are board of directors.
And then their parents also.
Parents.
But then it's not possible to get it. That is why I told it's a fictitious
Yeah.
capacity. But I would love to have. Maybe I may not respond to a few of the mind readings, which are negative. So I'll just let it go. But at least I'll know who are my friends and who are my enemies.
Oh my God. Okay. If your life was turned into a movie,
Mhm.
what would it be? The title of the movie.
Embers of Destiny.
Okay.
Rising from the trials. Like in my, like, how I have crossed all the struggles and how I have overcome all the hindrances in the progress of my career or my personal growth. So I think that's the most apt name
Hmm.
for the movie. So embers, rising from the trials, either rising from the trials or embers of destiny, both mean same.
Okay.
So how I have taken the trials that God has put me through in my personal and professional life, and how I've grown.
I wish it would come on Netflix. Embers of Destiny. So do check out the movie once it comes or a web series. Okay. What's your hidden talent that people don't know about?
There are many talents. Everyone has hidden talents, like bathroom singing. Although I'm not at all a good singer. But then, apart from it, I love drawing and copying any kind of sketch. So when I'm in stress and when I have time, so I draw. Only sketching part I do, not the coloring part. But sketching I'm very good at, and people don't know it.
I remember that once we had a conversation and you were telling that
I was
you
singing
were singing.
when I was in 8th standard, and my teacher caught my hand and she told,
She is the girl.
she's the girl who's singing so bad voice she's having. And she threw me out of the song. After that, I never tried singing.
Oh no, ma'am. You must. If you could create a new festival, what would it celebrate?
It would celebrate ideas,
Okay.
innovations, and the name of the festival would be Ignitia.
Okay.
So, as I see, there are so many ideas in children. There are so many innovations children have. Like they ask many questions,
Hmm.
but then their questions are most of the times not answered by the parents. Teacher do try to answer, but then their questions are unique. Why fish cannot fly?
Hmm.
They ask. Younger children, they ask. Why trees cannot walk?
God.
Why clouds cannot come down? So, these kind of questions, when they ask, it always gives me an idea that why can't we have a festival, Ignis, where we can celebrate these ideas
Mhm.
and we can make fish fly on the air, fly in the air, where children can happily watch a fish flying
Okay.
and a tree walking
Hmm.
and talking. So I would like to have that festival wherever I am, in case if I have given a chance.
Celebrating ideas.
Ideas, celebrating ideas,
Okay.
festivals of ideas.
Okay. And the gap between universities and schools, it's a concern. So, what's one thing, one way we can bridge this?
When a child is in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th class, the child should be exposed to real world problems. And now NEP has incorporated vocational classes and skill education from 6th onwards.
Mm.
So, internships in universities and internships in various, you can say, entrepreneurs or startups. Even children are exposed to university programs where during summer vacation, 10 days, 5 days, universities invite students to explore.
Hmm.
So these kind of programs, the partnership programs between the university and the school, vocational classes, skill program, and internship programs will have a like smooth transition students will face from schools to university. It would be easy for them. They won't feel that they are left out. The basic, the basic difference what students face when they go to university from schools. In school they have more structured education. I'm not telling that university do not have, but then the timetable is managed in such a way in schools that children know that after this period they have to do this, after this period they have to do this. And there are variety of periods or a variety of teaching periods, where one period is of games, one period is of maths, one period is of science. So but when they go to university, they do have their teaching periods. It's for longer duration first.
Mm.
Second, nobody is asking them even if they are not going to the classroom.
Yeah.
So when in school, if they are out of the classroom, every teacher will be asking them.
Yeah.
But in university, you
It
are a
doesn't
free bird.
happen. Yeah, you are a free bird.
You're a
And
free bird. So how to utilize that freedom productively?
hmm.
If they are taught in school that even if you nobody is asking you to go and attend the class, but since you are in university and you have come here to gain knowledge,
Hmm.
so instead of wasting time, it's my duty to go ahead and attend the class.
Hmm.
So that kind of responsibility, if it is taught in school, in years, like discipline doesn't come in 1 year. It's
Yeah.
a long process.
It's a lifelong process, I think.
So if they know that they have to utilize their freedom positively, and they know how to take decisions,
Hmm.
proper decisions, that even if my friend is telling that let's not go to the class, still I know I have to do this. and I attend the class. So you are taking right decision. Decision making skill is one of the greatest skill which every individual should have. What is right, what is wrong, and then take the decision.
Okay.
Because life gives you options at every stage. Options for both right decision, wrong decision. So, what decision you are making today will make your life good or bad in future.
Hmm.
So, whatever I am here, it's because of the decisions I had made in my life.
Yeah. Let's move on to some rapid fire round questions. So, one word to
Hmm.
describe education today.
Evolving,
Your leadership style in one word.
embolden to instill courage and confidence in my team and students.
And favorite subject in school.
I'm biology teacher. I love
Biology.
biology.
Oh my god. One word that defines success for you.
Fulfillment,
Okay. Coffee or chai?
coffee.
Okay. Samosa or sandwich?
What do you think?
Sandwich?
Samosa.
Samosa. Because you opted for coffee, so I thought you must be liking sandwich. Okay. Favorite movie?
RRR.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that step. Nato, 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 nato. And that
Okay.
song also.
You want to do that? Okay. Favorite actor?
Ajit Kumar, you know, he's a Tamil actor. So I just like him.
Acha. Okay. Books or Netflix?
Books,
Okay. Your biggest strength in one word?
integrity.
Okay. If you had a warning label, what would it say in one word?
Testing is not my virtue. Don't test my patience.
No testing. Your go to stress buster.
I love reading books. I love reading newspapers.
Okay.
So you can say that if I'm in stress, I just read books or newspaper.
And one word that makes you happy.
Working.
Seriously.
Seriously. If I have work, I'm very happy. If I don't have work, I don't feel like I told you know the book which I read.
Yeah.
Every day something which is driving. It's my work.
Mm.
So maybe because of that, my team always tells that, ma'am, you never take leave.
Mm.
Even if there is a leave, it's on Sunday. Next Sunday also you want to come to school. So my work makes me happy.
Okay. Favorite historical figure.
Lakshmi Bai.
Okay. The first word that comes to your mind when you hear exams.
Challenge and self-proving.
Okay. One thing that instantly annoys you.
Unorganized and clutter.
Okay.
I want everything to be organized.
Organized. Okay. One thing you would never compromise.
Loyalty.
If education had a mascot, what would it be called?
It would be called as Lumora, igniting knowledge and curiosity.
Okay.
So it's a Latin word.
Okay.
So I would name it as Lumora, which would have a igniting light and curiosity because children are very curious.
Mm-hmm.
Education is nothing but fulfilling the curiosity inside any child.
Mm-hmm.
So I would name it as Lumora.
Okay, that's interesting. I have heard of it for the first time. So it's time to wrap up the session now. Thank you, Mrinalini ma'am,
Thank
for
you.
being with us on
Thank
the
you so
show. And from the episode, I think we could all make out that education is not about learning only, it's about evolving. And it has to be a lifelong process, it has to be in continuation, it has to be ongoing process. So I think we have learned a lot from Mrinalini ma'am. And to all our viewers, keep impacting others with your best, and keep pushing your limits, and you never know what best you can come up with, because the process is always evolving. Thank you everyone.